What is up, everybody? What is up? What's up? Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday afternoon to episode 7 of the Goku Kev Show. I'm your host, Kev the Galaxybender. Joining me as always, my main man and co-host, John Ramsey. What up, dude? Hey, Goku Black. How you doing, man? How's it going?
Chilling like a villain,
Like a villain. I like bad guys. Like, I wish there was more, because that's what the world is anyway, just bad. So we need more bad guys to in movies and shows. I like bad guys. Like D'Onofrio. And have you ain't seen the Daredevil series, have you?
Daredevil.
Have you seen it? The Netflix?
Daredevil. No, I haven't.
Well, Wilson Fisk, the Vincent D'Onofrio plays him.
I know who. Yeah, Daredevil.
He's awesome.
He's the Marvel character.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And to my left, I have with me Miss MLP. How you doing today? She's just sitting there sidelining with us today. How you doing today, MLP?
Doing great.
Doing good?
Miss Lyrical Penny, yes.
Yeah. All right. So Goku, how was your week, man? You know, what you do?
Hanging out.
Cool?
Yeah.
Anything happen? You watch anything? But you know what? I watched Big Trouble in Little China recently, man.
Dude, I love that movie.
I watched it recently. Yeah.
No, I watched it. Remember?
Well, I watched it twice then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's a movie I can watch over and over and over. Cause like, and that segues into like what this show is about too. It segues right into it because that's where some of the inspiration came from the guy who, put the stuff together. So from Big Trouble in Little China, like a bunch of 80s stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah, I watched that.
Just having fun.
I watched that a couple times. Oh, check this out though. Let me show y'all what else happened. I saw a turkey hawk. Not turkey hawk, but turkey vulture. I saw it was right up the street.
Yeah.
I went to go pick up Selena from pick her up from school. And like I was coming home and where her old bus stop is, we saw this vulture, so let me pull it up. Check this out. You're gonna laugh. Y'all gonna laugh at this. This is crazy. Check this out. Check it out. Look at this thing. Look at it. Look, it was picking at a possum.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
That's what those are called.
Yeah, you seen them? Yeah, it's a turkey vulture. I looked at it, I was like, man, it looked like it gotta be some type of vulture, but
yeah.
Then look, he drags the carcass too. He's like, no, this is mine.
It's mine.
He's like, this is mine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I saw that. That tripped me out, man. I thought that was like one of the weirdest things ever, man. It was crazy. So but yeah, so wanted to take a moment. I'm trying to send something else out on the social medias. Hang on a second real quick. But yeah, so also my security breach stuff, I think I got that figured out. Like believe it or not, I was able to log into my Activision account. Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was like what ended up happening is when you go to log in, I didn't realize this either. It asks you to use like the vanilla Activision account. And what ended up happening is I kept trying to do that and it just wouldn't work. Like it wouldn't let me log in. So I'm like, somebody changed my shit so I can't get into it. So what ended up happening is it gives you an option at the bottom of the screen. Go to log in. It's like 4 different console. Well, like Steam, Battle.net, Xbox, PlayStation. So I was like, all right. So let me see, like if I try like logging in like one of these ways, and it just lets me right the fuck in. So I'm looking, like I'm sitting back, I'm like, and I go into all my linked accounts and I see it all. It's all linked to shit. So I'm like, this is weird. So I'm in here, and then I'll go in and turn on 2-factor authentication, but like it's still not letting me do something. It's still not letting me tell the game that I have 2FA on. So I sent the email, like I sent a ticket through this account, and was also is different when I submitted a ticket through this account. It actually gave me a ticket number. It wasn't doing that before.
Yeah.
And then they would reply back like within 24 hours and then tell me that like they couldn't help me. That's normally what would happen. But they haven't even fucking like replied back. Like, because they're still trying to figure out how to get my shit to like work like like the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So
You've kind of gotten logged in though, and can't.
yeah, I can play the game and stuff like that, and that was really never like the big issue. The big issue was always like just like my account linking and shit like that, and but I still have that problem to where the game is like, you don't have 2F8 on. And I do, and there's no way to have it communicate together. So that's part of the problem. I'll get it all figured out and shit. So I'm not really worried about it. So, but yeah, I'm about to send this tweet out real quick. And that's another thing. I'm surprised Twitter ain't like dead yet. We ain't gonna get into that, but man, like,
Sheesh.
I saw some of that shit. I was like, man, I can't.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Like, yeah, crazy. Let's see. I have it. I don't have Tamashi AI in here. Oh, whatever. It's cool. All right. So, but yeah. So, with that being said, I want to let you guys know because this month shows the main event is going to be, Legend of the Double Dragon. But to let you guys know, in the interest of full disclosure, Legend of the Double Dragon is a non-commercial work. However, all the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and no one is paying me to report on their gaming project, nor did anyone review or approve what you're about to see before it was broadcasted and uploaded. None of my views and opinions represent either of my employers. I'm sure this applies for Miss Penny and Goku.
Definitely.
So this is a very casual show. However, the content is like super mature, sometimes too dark. So viewer discretion is advised because
would be cussed.
Yeah, we like our show is a mix of Let's Plays, random gaming news. My goal is not profit. Just want to show people new games, cool games, and also like we keep politics out of the show. We keep faith, religion, because those are things that usually divide people, and those are personal choices. And we like to, we want to welcome everybody, from all tribes. Like there's no tribalistic people here. We want everybody to come in and play these games. Everybody.
They're great games.
So yeah, from transgenders to, any ethnic background, we don't care. We want you all here because it doesn't matter. But and our hope is that you find something you like and you share it with somebody. That's my goal. Yeah. And as always, it will be kept grimy. It will be kept grimy from basement. So if you guys want the best news and the best updates on gaming news and whatnot, you can reach out to the VGO Community Show with Ghost and Tactical Shogun. And that's over at twitch.tv/TheRealGhostT. I'll have all the links and stuff in the description. This stuff always go up on YouTube. I'll have it up there, so no worries. But the community show VGO, and VGO is short for Video Game Outsiders, goes live every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can also catch the proper VGO main show, the Video Game Outsiders, with John, Michelle, Matt. And that show goes live. That's over at videogameoutsiders.com. And that goes live at every Tuesday from 9 to 11 Eastern. So I've been listening to them, man, for over about 10. Let's see, Selena. She's 11.
She's been featured on.
Yeah, I've even been featured on the show too, but I've been listening to them for about 10, 11 years, man, a long time. And like they're one thing about their shows, like especially VGO, they're consistent, man. They've been doing this for so long, and they do this every week, and I don't understand how, because they have jobs and lives. Like Michelle, she wrote a book and stuff, and like she's got shit going on. John, like I know at one point he did work for Google. I'm not sure he worked for, but he has a lot of shit going on. He has an arcade. He has a lot of shit going on. And then Matt, he's involved in like voice acting and stuff, and he does audio books and things like that, commercials and like. And I think he just recently got a big superhero role too. I think he's playing the Flash, and I think it's the Flash in one of these DC things. I have to go back and see it, but I saw that and I was proud of him. So congrats, Matt Bradford. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and sometimes certain members will take a break. Like they'll be doing something. Like Michelle, she's writing her book. She took a hiatus for a while because she was busy in that, but she came back and they're always consistent, man. And they're a comedy show. They're not for kids. Definitely not for kids. So if you tune into them, prepare to see some shit that you normally will see here because I'll drive with them. That being said, we're going to move on and get into the nitty gritty of the show. This month, we're not going to have an Avatar fan fiction. However, there will be a small, tiny amendment to the character Goku that we have made. So this is in honor of my brother Shadon, and because we used to all live together, and Shadon, he always his thing. My brother's thing was always calling stuff the wrong name. So he always called Goku. He's always called him Goku. So we're going to honor him. We're going to change it to that, and it's a little bit more unique too. And the K has to be capital too. This is how it's spelled. Yeah. So yeah, it's spelled 7. It's got it. What I might do is shorten it to just 7. It'll be 6 after because I want 7 U's in it because 7 is my favorite number. Yeah. So I might drop 1 U because this is 8 U's altogether because that's episode. Man. But yeah, it's a work in progress. But yeah, small little amendment. But so with that being said, moving on, we're going to get into the backlog section. So Goku, tell me, what have you been playing?
I have still been playing Rocket League.
Okay.
Oh, of course I do. I haven't been streaming it though. Okay. So if anybody's been wondering why, I'm just playing. I have learned a few things, been playing with a couple like people that were way higher level than me. Mm-hmm. So I plan on doing like a surprise thing near the end of the season and showing where I'm at. Kind of happy about it.
What's the time limit left on this season? Because I know these service games, they are running for a few months or something like that. So
yeah, I want to say it's like 3 months almost, maybe.
Okay, and how much time you got left on this one?
They usually also have it in like stages. Like that's how I think about it when the achievements come out.
Gotcha.
They have 4 stages in the achievements, and the last stage it came out November 18th. Okay. And they usually give you like 3 weeks to finish all the achievements.
So shit, that was like yesterday, right? You said November 18th. Did you mean a different date? Because yesterday was November 18th.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was October
18th. That's what you're probably thinking. Yeah, because I know because that's when the season it started, right?
October 18th.
When did the season start? Or it was in September, wasn't it?
It was in September. That's what I was going to say. Like, maybe I forget exactly. It was in November that the last stage was. I forget. Maybe it wasn't the 18th.
Gotcha.
You're right. I'm looking at the date. Today's the 19th.
You remember that meme I showed you about the Fennec when dude's Uber driver came and he was playing Rocket League?
Yeah.
He was like, and he saw that he had the Fennec, then he told him.
He's like, I ain't rolling with you.
Yeah, he was giving us food. I tell people why that happened, so people will know.
Okay, so like the way that the game is like a lot of the hardcore like professional players too usually use octanes. But
explain what that is so people don't know.
Okay, so if you're watching the video, the car that's scoring the goal right now,
that's on the delay.
That's with the delay.
Yeah, that's the delay. That's a 5-second delay. You want to look at that.
All right. So it's the car in the white with the weird paint.
Gotcha.
That's an octane. And that's the basic starter car. And then the hitbox for it is also the same for a bunch of the other like special cars that they have. Mm-hmm. The Fennec is one of the special cars, which coincidentally, the way the hitbox is shaped is exactly the way the Fennec is.
Gotcha.
So other people have started like maining the Fennec. Mm-hmm. So that's what it's kind of a war. It's kind of like, you know, like old school versus new school. Like the old school likes the octane because that's the original, and then the new school likes the Fennec because it's actually shaped the way it's supposed to.
I swear we're having issues with the video. Like I said, we always have issues. Mm-hmm. That's so weird. It was just playing fine.
That's a new one, yeah.
It's fine. It's all right. See, there it is. It's weird. Sure. Yeah, and like
so that's an octane.
And the shape has a lot to do with it because how you.
And then see the blue card, not the one that's spinning around them. but the one that's off to the side that was there, they probably show it.
Mhm.
No, they're still doing the Civic, which, in my opinion, I think the Civic also has the same hitbox as an Octane.
Oh, really?
And I've been using the Civic hit. So that's my new car. And
He was salty though. He felt that car was like cheating because of the hitboxes.
because of the hitboxes, it's the same hitbox. It's just that the way the Octane looks, you can't tell that like where the fender is, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look aesthetic, I guess. But the way that the Fennec is built, it's perfect. It matches the fucking hitbox exactly.
It seems like it'd just be like real deceptive, like how it's shaped. You wouldn't realize that hitbox the way it is. Yeah.
You know what's funny is that there's a car, they call it the Merc, and it's actually a big ass van, but it uses the same hitbox as the Octane.
Oh, does it?
Like,
oh, that's got to be weird to get used to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's so much bigger than, that's
so like where you would think that, like you would hit because there's windshield or something, it actually goes in a little bit before it actually hits the ball.
Gotcha. But is that all you got for Rocket League?
Yeah.
All right.
Keeping that all a surprise, right?
Yeah, that's your monthly thing, though, man. I mean, your daily.
That's my daily.
Yeah, that's his daily. He plays
That's
that
my
every day.
daily. I might take a day off, maybe, but I
That's
usually
your
play
shit.
it every day.
Nah, I feel it. So, let's go ahead and move on to Goku's next game. So let's talk to me about some more Subnautica. Tell me about
this game. Is very, very interesting. I have now created all of the 3 major vehicles.
the robot.
The robots.
Got the robots.
I got the robots. Yeah, and I built it in front of
I
you.
watched you do that. Yeah, I watched you do that.
That's awesome.
It was like last weekend.
Yep. And so
so explain to Penny what it is, because she probably don't know. This is a game your nephews would like.
Oh man.
Yeah, her nephews were like, they're not, well, one of them, I think he's not super high action. Yeah, he'll love this.
Okay, so this is more of a grind kind of game.
Survival.
Exactly, it's a survival. So you crash land on an ocean planet. You're a part of a, intergalactic traveling company, whatever, and you crash land on an ocean world. Like there is very, very little actual surface land. There is surface land. Oh, I found it. And there's some plants and stuff, and you want to take them, see how you have your base and you can grow stuff. And okay, see, so yeah, now they're getting to the interesting part. That's called the underwater river. So, and then that's the alien shit. And so there's a lot of shit going on. Because as you go through the story and figure out about other people that have crashed and have going through their own circumstances, there is intelligent life on this planet, and it knows that the ecosystem is actually poisonous or something, and so it keeps anything that comes to this planet here. And you were about to get rescued, and it shoots and blows up the fucking rescue ship, and so you end up, I don't know, I'm not gonna ruin the story. But there are more intelligent life on this planet. And you have to go down to some very, very, very deep depths to get some of the special stuff that they want, like materials, because this is a survival. So, I mean, you constantly have to drink water, fresh water. You can't drink the salt water, so you have to actually purify it some way. Usually it's finding salt deposits and cutting up this certain kind of coral and it makes bleach, and then you can bleach the water.
Yeah, clean your water and shit like that.
Clean your water, so
Yeah.
you can drink clean water.
That's the most
You have
action
to
you can
actually
see.
catch. At first, you have to kind of catch the fish, and then you gotta like put them in a little synthesizer thing, and it cooks them and deguts them, and then you can eat them. And then there's also oxygen too. So like you have to worry about surfacing and fucking breathing again, and unless you're in one of your little ships, and like there's a big ass sub that can house one of the other two smaller vessels, which is there's like a small little bubble kind of sub. I guess the best way to put it, like it's just a big window,
Mm-hmm.
like all around you, and then like jet propelled and kind of like. And then there's the one that they call the prawn, and it's like a suit, and it's got arms and shit.
Yeah, that's the one I'm watching build.
That the one's cool. And with your big sub, you can actually house the smaller ones. So then you take the big sub, you go real deep, then you drop the prawn down, go even deeper. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, they showed a quick little thing where there was like a giant, like, skull of a creature. Yeah. I just saw that just recently.
Yeah, so
But
there's a lot of exploration in there.
then I
Yeah.
also was very hurt because, like, they took it off of Game Pass.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It happens, man. It does. You probably like. I played. What game did I play like that? And they just took it off Game Pass. It was like real cool. I can't remember. It was a game that they did me like that too. So, but yeah.
And then it's like, so, all right, well,
How much? Is it?
now it was like $30.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, so when I get paid, I'll
you go ahead and
fucking
buy it.
get it.
Yeah, see, that's how they get you, man.
Yeah.
They get you like that.
And it's like, you know, I might as well now get the DLC because I was looking at it and it's like it's called Subnautica, Sub-Zero. So everything's like extra cold, I guess. And like then your suits, because this one, the ship that you were on starts becoming radioactive and like it's contaminating the environment. And you actually have to go like deactivate all that shit so it stops doing that. But in the meantime, like you learn how to make radiation suits so you can go and climb even in there and fuck with shit. Like, so I'm guessing the Sub-Zero one you'll probably have like warm.
Yeah, thermal. Yeah, you probably have to like. Yeah, Lost Planet did something like that. Ever played that game?
Mm-mm.
You were like in the cold and like you were a soldier and like you had to get this energy to keep your like it was a resource to keep yourself warm. It was an action game, but like that was one of the resources you had to manage. Is like you get cold freezes there.
Well,
So
me and
it
myself
made it
were trying to
for
play
me.
AC, and that's kind of how I kept dying from the cold.
That's why.
So, yeah,
man.
I know.
These games are not for me. Like I said, your nephew.
One of them.
Yeah, the one you was telling me about. He was.
They had a PC or
That was a console. It's on console.
Mhm.
He was playing on Xbox. Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah. I mean, it's on like a bunch of different stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it showed all the way at the end here. It was on Oculus.
Yeah, VR, of course, is probably crazy. Yeah, the Oculus and the fucking Steam VR or whatever. Yeah, it is. This would be a crazy game to play like that.
Oh,
Like I can't play VR games because I don't like have stuff around my face. Like because
Steam, Xbox One, Steam VR, and Oculus.
Yeah, they have an Xbox 360.
Oh no,
They don't really play that often.
I play my old stuff every now and then. Like I was playing my PS3 like a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing Started.
But yeah, that's something one of them would like. I know
Yeah.
one of them.
I need more killing. You can kill stuff here, but it ain't enough.
It's not
It's
like-
not the focus. Yeah, focus is
It's not the
explore,
focus. No.
survive. Survive.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. So
Like, I mean, at one point you get like a thermal knife, and that thing's pretty badass. And then I usually carry around. Basically, it's like I have my stasis gun
Mhm.
and my thermal knife, and I don't care how big the fucking monster is. I'll hit you with the stasis gun. It stays still. I come up to you and just start hacking like stasis gun again until you stop moving, motherfucker.
if you want action and see, you get that. What's it called? I'm gonna play that game, the shark game. You play Maneater. You get that?
Oh yeah, they play that.
I played that.
They play that too.
There was a real life man-eater incident that happened not that long ago. That shit to you?
Got me that
shark jumped on that dude's
jumped
boat.
on. It was like in Australia or somewhere.
Yeah, that was a big great white man. I was on there like, yeah, I'm this shark. He was like, yeah, man-eater.
They were fishing basically the way dude was telling the story, and like it was a mako, and they're really fast, and so like he had started kind of leading it. And I guess the shark was like, no, and went in front of the boat and jumped out of the water like it had been because people had got out their phones because it was jumping out of the water, but it got out in front of the boat and it landed on the boat like, and was sitting there flipping around. Like,
they were like, why didn't people go push it back? No. He's moving. And first of all, the fin can hurt you.
Yep.
She's
so strong.
And then like them teeth, man, they nick you, and then you're
if the front end
they nick you, you're in the afterlife. Like, damn. You go down and reach, all of a sudden you see the clouds. Like, oh,
the back end will hurt.
That's what happened.
The front end will kill you.
But yeah, and the sad thing is, like, a shark only survive out of the water for maybe like 8 minutes tops before it's brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, it like rolled over and got back in the water. They usually can.
It wasn't out of the water. Maybe more than a minute.
Yeah,
really.
They're pretty strong, pop themselves in the water. So that would have scared the shit out of me, man. I'd have needed the pins after that shit. All right, so moving on to Goku's next. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. We got it. Right.
Jedi spiders.
You didn't have that on there, did you?
We didn't put the
you didn't update the notes. You got to put them on there, man. I got to know. I put the only other game that you had, like, that you told me.
Shadow Warrior was the third.
Yeah, that was the third one.
That's what it was. That's also what I've been playing.
You got to update my house. I'm like, a folder with him.
So much done with it. I know I'm near the end there.
So let me ask you this: do you like the game? Because this was the whole reason we got him. The whole reason he got the Xbox, it was just to play Shadow Warrior. Because I was
like, I want to cut people in half.
Yeah, was I playing it or something?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa. And I was like, dude, you actually swim like that certain way, and he like split in half right there. Like, wow, that's really good. And yes, I have been enjoying it. That's actually one of my favorite parts is like the splitting them in half.
It's actually like one of the things that Flying Wild Hog like focused on. Like melee combat was something that they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Instead of just guns and shit like. And the thing is, the guns feel good, man.
They do.
Guns awesome.
I don't use them a lot. Like it's okay on bigger shit, flying shit. I'll shoot the fuck out of it. But everybody in between,
using that sword.
Oh boy. They're getting hacked up.
And what people also don't realize is also like the thing about Shadow Warrior makes it good is like the dialogue and shit.
Oh,
like
dude.
Lo Wang's
Wang is fucking hilarious.
He's saying we got the touch right there. But we can't play the audio because they'll mute my shit.
Yeah. It's hilarious, dude. He talks hella shit the whole time. I know in one of the Shadow Warrior games, you can like turn, like they ask you how much Wang you want. And you can turn it down because like some people don't like that he's annoying, so you can turn his Wang. But that was hilarious. I can't remember which one it was. How much Wang? How much Wang do you want?
Yeah, and then what people don't also realize, like Lo Wang also has a twin brother. His name is Hung Lo.
Yeah. You said he shows up in the second one, right?
Well, he showed up in the expansion to the classic. He's not mentioned in the reboot series, but he was the main protagonist in the expansion for the classic Shadow Warrior game. Hung motherfucking Low. Man, I was like, hey, that's Shaq's master's name is Shaq Fu Legend Reborn. Another shitty beat him up.
Shaq Fu.
I should cover that.
Remember that game?
Well, no, you remember Shaq Fu, the fighting game.
The fighting game.
He made another one.
He made another.
They made another Shaq Fu, dog.
What?
The Legend Reborn. They did, and it's a beat 'em up. It's a single player beat 'em up.
You know what? I think I do remember that. I do remember that.
It's arguably
worse.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, I remember it. It was even worse. Oh my god!
Shaq's new games. The new Shaq Fu game. It's called a Legend Reborn. See, man, y'all, what rock y'all been living under, man? Shaq been pumping out these stanky games, man, for a while.
Just been a little out of things.
So beat them up.
Taking care of business. You were supposed to keep me on top of this. As soon as you find out,
sometimes I think people get annoyed. So you know,
you can send it to me. I'm not because I'm not.
But who wants to hear about Shaq food? Though that's the other thing. Right?
It was so cheap. Yeah, you're not missing out on nothing. Don't worry. It was so shit.
I feel bad for Shaq because I wanted to be good. Why are we talking about Shaq food, man? I wanted to be good. We're supposed to be talking about Mr. Why see, like, it's still playing. That's weird. Like this player does that. It's so bizarre that it does that. But I myself, man, I had a lot of fun with Shadow Warrior because it's.
Oh yeah, dude.
The like I hope you really take the time to play the second one because if you like the melee combat in this one, the second one, like it takes it to the next level.
I've been wanting to play the second one. You're like, no, you have to finish the first.
Yeah, finish first one first. Yeah, because you won't go back to this. Like, well, I mean, you might, but like the combat is so like different. Like it's kind of like the equivalent to when you say the 1, 2, 3, 4.
One thing that I'm missing is being able to like air dash and stuff like that. And you said that you get that in the second one.
Yeah,
so that's probably why I wouldn't go back to the first one.
A whole lot in this game. Watch that.
Yeah,
he walks a lot
because his dash isn't. It's
you have to hold it, and he runs.
I can sprint, but you know his stamina goes down.
You build it up.
I'd rather keep stamina for when the shit hits the fan because that's when I do actually dash.
Have you built it up? Because when you build his stamina up, it's like it drains way slower, and you have more of it. There's a skill for it. It's the first. It's like one of I'm a mobility guy, you know. Yeah. So it's usually one of the first things I usually go.
And I focused on getting his special move.
Oh, did you?
And then getting health.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that was the two things that I focused on when I was building him.
Because that's the main thing. Once you get him mobile, man, that sword becomes way better. It becomes so much better because you're able to dash around, run, sprint. But like we said, like the first game, like it's really akin to, I would say, kind of like the old school one. However, because the old school one is linear, but there's just a big maze. It's like they put a key here. Where this one is more linear. You can kind of get lost, but
you still get lost.
Yeah, so it takes a little of that design, but it doesn't go all the way with it because that design, like, it can turn, some players off because remember, like, playing Doom or Duke Nukem trying to find them goddamn keys? And you're like, man, fuck, you spend, like, all day, and then you finally find it, like, an hour later, like, really? Like, it's right in front of your face, so... That and this man, the classic Shadow Warrior. Oh my God! There's the first level. Most people don't pass it because you have to take this radio control car, and like you have to go up to this thing and drive it, make it drive in this thing, and make it open this door so you can get this key. And like I would have never fucking known that if I would have watched the video.
Wow,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that design like is kind of archaic. So they use some of it where it's kind of open. You can kind of get your keys. But they kind of lay them out.
You still gotta try to.
You gotta kind of find them, but but it's more linear where you're not gonna really because you can't get turned around in this because there's some sections that do kind of open up like the original one, but for most of the part it's a linear game. But the second one is open world, and it's more like kind of like a Borderlands-y vibes where it's a loot game. For instance, I wouldn't say Borderlands, but it's a loot game because it does more because you can upgrade the guns.
Yeah.
The second one, you upgrade them and you can there's all kinds of shit you can do.
I like having that shotgun.
When you get max that, you get the quad shot,
and fucking all four go offline.
What's my favorite weapon in here is either the I like the revolver, really like that. I like the crossbow,
really,
with the explosive bolts. That is my like them big things with the pimp. That's what I use on them. They charge, I dash, I shoot a couple of them. Boom.
I need to start getting into those then.
Yeah, you typically won't get all of your upgrades like the first playthrough. It's like usually the New Game Plus you play through. And I started a New Game Plus too. As I said, you probably will go back to it, but like once you play 2, man, like the combat is so faster. It's so much
like they fucking bazillionize the weapons.
There's like 80. There's like 80 some weapons in the game. Yeah, and that's what I do like about it. There's not like 1,000 weapons. There's like 80. That's a hefty fuck. Like really, 15 to 20 weapons is enough in the game. I used to be pissed about weapons in games because you only got 10 and 12. But that's kind of enough because like eventually the function starts to repeat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like plasma gun, assault rifle.
Yeah.
They can, they can almost just, it depends how you design your game too. You can have enemies that are weak to energy. So that's a whole nother topic, but I can't wait till you finish it because the story I think is really good in 1 and 2. But 3, unfortunately, was a wet fart. And I'm not going to even fucking talk about that game.
Jeez.
That's how bad it was, man. It was a piece of fucking shit. You got anything else to say about Shadow Warrior, my man?
Oh, just got to finish it up.
Yeah, and when you do, let me know, man, so we can.
I will.
And Hoji, you always have a companion with you in these games too. And Hoji is
Hoji's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He talks hella shit too.
Yeah, so. But all right. So is that it for you, Goku?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving on. All right, we're gonna get it on my backlog, and I've been playing some games too, and I've been playing, and I talked about this the last show. Alice Madness Returns. This is probably one of my favorite platforms. Like it probably is now because I've played it further. Because I've played it before, but I got to the like sea level, and like something else happened in my life. I don't know, but I stopped playing it and I picked it back up and I started playing it. It's just like. At first, it's deceptively have a lot of depth to it. I've been finding a lot of games that do that. Like on the surface, it's like, oh, it's just a basic platformer. It doesn't really do anything, and it doesn't. It doesn't do anything innovative. However, it takes tools that it has and it uses them really well. Because once you get deeper into the game, you get an arsenal. She has a teapot grenade launcher. She has a pepper gun, machine gun, big ass hammer, hobby horse, and the Vorpal blades you see right there. And she has these bombs, these like basically C4 mines, like these little cat bombs, and like you can lay them and they explode, obviously cause damage, but they also draw aggro for enemies, so you can lay it and enemies attack it. You can, go behind them and attack them. So and like different enemies are weak to, and then she has a parasol too, umbrella, and she can reflect shots and stuff. And like some enemies you have to like perfect deflect to get it to go back to them, and then it'll knock them down. You can attack them. So it's just deceptively, it has a lot of depth. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I can't wait. Right now I'm in the Japanese world. Oh, that looks so fun. But yeah, this game is like real twisted and messed up. But like the way that it uses all of its tools, like you'll fight different enemies where you'll need to lay a bomb and then go, and then she's very mobile. She can triple jump. She can air dash. She can dash. Like she's very mobile. She can glide. Like the game is a lot of fun. And like when you use teeth, they just currency to upgrade your weapons. Like you get more attacks, more damage, and then you can combine your hobby horse and Vorpal blade attacks. Like you can do hobby horse, Vorpal blade, hobby horse. And like what this does is certain enemies needs to be guard broken because you'll hear when you hit them, you hear that crash, and then that's when you usually that. You can do that with the hobby horse, but like you don't get the hobby horse about halfway through the game. So enemies that you do need to do that, a lot of times they shoot something at you that you have to deflect. Like what's cool, I fought these crabs. They were called the cannon crab, and like they smoke a cigar, and one of their crabs is a fucking cannon, and then they light the fucking cannon with the cigar and shoot at you. And then he got deflected back, and then you cut his cannon arm off. Then he's trying to hit you with the other one. Like this in the game is like it has a lot of charm to it. And then I found out. There are some outfits that do give you different abilities. They change the way that the character behaves and stuff like that. So some negative, some positive. So, but those are like DLC dresses. But because dresses are something I really like about this game. Shout out to dresses, man.
Shout out to dresses.
I like pears, man. I've been eating
pears lately, bro.
Shout out to pears. Shout out to pears. So yeah, I like the dresses in this game, and like it's got a lot of charm to it. It is based. Do you know who I forget the person who wrote it, but do you know who wrote Alistair Lookingglass? It was written by a mathematician. It was back in I think the 1800s, maybe. It was a while ago, maybe 1800s. I don't know, but yeah, he was a mathematician and he wrote this, and like the way it's written, the way some of the dialogue is, you can tell somebody very analytical wrote it, like from the original piece. And then like this is a little bit more twisted. They just take a twist. I mean, it was twisted to begin with, but you can tell like somebody who was very analytical, very, what would you call him? Melancholy. Wrote this. Yeah. Somebody real melancholy. Yeah, they did, man. They
Melancholy, huh?
Yeah, melancholy. Yeah. But it's a really good game. I really like this game. I'm almost at the end. I'm going to finish it. Like I have not wanted to finish a platformer in a while, and this is one I want to finish because it's so fun. Like it makes me feel like a kid playing it, but it's like real twisted too. Like the music, and the theme, and it's fucked up, but I love it, man. Great game. All right, so moving on. So I've been playing some games, and in this section, I'm going to group all these games to one because they're all similar. They're the same genre, and they're kind of like, honestly, the same game with a few different mechanics. But real shooters are light gun games. And you can't really call them light gun games anymore because of the technology. You know, because the LCD screens have there's no light. So there's been different ways that different companies handle it, but overall, like these are just basically rail shooters. You basically just shoot at the screen. I've been playing a bunch of them. Like Goku's been watching me playing a bunch of them. The first one you saw was
playing a bunch of them with you.
And I just listed all the ones I've been playing because I'm not going to do a different section for each of them, but I'll just talk briefly about all of them. So the first one you saw was Target Terror. That one's kind of like Area 51. Have you ever played that before? Have you ever played Area 51?
Wait, yeah.
Yeah. So it was all CG.
Yeah.
So, and like one of the first real shooters I ever played was like Lethal Enforcers. Do you remember that one? It had the pink and blue revolver, and it looked so weird. That was my first time seeing one, and I was like, that game, because it used the not the CG, but the what's that shit they call
live action.
The Mortal Kombat used it. What's the word for it? Digitized graphics. That's what they digitized actors. So yeah, Lethal Enforcers used that. And I think Midway probably made that too. They made a lot of those arcade games. So that Target Terror one you saw was made actually by somebody who worked on those games at Area 51. His name is Eugene Jarvis. Okay. And like he used to work with Midway when they were before they got fucking sold and never around. But he had made that game, and what I do like about it, I'll tell you my pros and cons. It's super arcadey, and there's not much to it. You just point and shooting. It's real simple. That's what I like about it. But bad thing about it, you can't turn the crosshair off. I hate that because certain games are balanced to have the crosshair and certain games aren't. And that one was an arcade game, and it's balanced to not have it. So just having the crosshair makes it way too easy. Your brain turns off. You might not want to play it. However, if the game is like dumb hard anyway, and then so it kind of doesn't matter at that point. So that's why I still enjoy it. And then you can't calibrate your controls, which is fine because it goes off the Wii system calibration. And like lately, I haven't even been doing the calibration. I just fucking jump in because I just kind of know how the gun works and know how the Wii sensor works. So, and then the second one I put in there was Ghost Squad. And Ghost Squad is basically made by Sega, and it was that military looking one. And it's basically Virtual Cop, but soldiers. You know what I mean? Like, because you get an assault rifle, you get, a submachine gun, you can full auto, but it's basically Virtual Cop. Because I think they came out with 4 Virtual Cop games. And I've always wanted to, play Virtual Cop 4 and 3, but I've only played 1 and 2. But Ghost Squad is like the closest to that Virtual Cop experience you get because you have the guys that'll slide up on your fucking desk and shoot at you, be all up in your face, and that game it irritates me too because you can't turn the fucking crosshair off. Well, no. Actually, you can because I do turn it off. You can. That would irritate me, but you can't turn it off because that's an arcade game at heart. It's balanced not to have it, and you have automatic weapons. You just fucking hold and squeeze, so you're not going to have to worry about missing and shit, because you can just keep it going. But it's one of my on this list like my second favorite because I like arcade games and it's easy to pick up and play, and I like that. What I do love about the game, it has all kinds of configurations for the gun. Like you can configure it in like so many different ways that any gun peripheral will work because some gun peripherals put the Wiimote in places where it won't work right, and you can see fucking back there. I'll show you later.
Yeah, we were switching through different guns, trying to get the right configuration for games and what we play.
So certain Wii attachments, and like I don't. Nobody do what I did. I'm extreme when it comes to shit. You've already Goku has too. I'm extreme. So like when I want to do something, I go hard. I went and bought all kinds of attachments for playing this game. But it makes it fun as hell though. It really does. Like the shotgun attachment.
I play Resident Evil with the new ones.
With I only got one of them. We can do it this weekend, man, because I had to send one back because I had to send that one shotgun back. I'll explain to you why later too, but I figured out how the shotgun works good and everything. Like I like the shotgun. It's one of my favorite attachments. But what I do like I said, like about Ghost Squad, you can change almost like they have a configuration for every like attachment you can think of, because it just lets you set it up how you would think it. They have the Wiimote for the B button to shoot. Then they even have one where you can shoot with the A. They have one you can shoot with the nunchuck. Both buttons they have. You can do everything. So it's really,
you can set it up however you need it.
Yeah, however you need it to whatever attachment you use, or if you even ain't using one, they have it real comfortable. So, but yeah, so that was the I say this is the target tier.
Yeah, this is like real
digitized
real
graphics.
people. Yeah,
digitized graphics like Pit Fighter.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
The first Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, 1, 2, and 3 they use all digitized. Area 51 had them graphics too. What else? There was a couple other guys that did it, but yeah, see this, you can't even calibrate the controls or none of that one. But like the next game you roll up, it's gonna be Ghost Squad, and it's definitely virtual cop. It's virtual cop. That's all it is. What's cool is though you can unlock like different suits, like banana suit, stuff like that, and your character look all goofy. Japan's like they love shit like that. It's a Japanese game. But the other shooter I like on here that you probably saw was House of the Dead.
I love that game.
No, not Overkill.
Okay.
Yeah, we ain't got the Overkill yet. We got 2 and 3. House of the Dead 2 and 3 Returns. These are the classic ones from Sega that came from the arcades. They're arcade games too. Like all the first games I'm talking about was basically arcade games. Yeah. So everybody knows that House of the Dead 2 and 3 is really not a whole bunch to say to it. Shit came out in arcades, Dreamcast. I know 3 came out on Xbox. That was weird. Had the green guns. I always wanted to get it, but I never. Back then, I didn't play a whole bunch of these. It was weird. But like when the Wii came out, that's when I started playing a bunch of them because it became accessible, easy, because it just had the hardware that was just made for it. You know what I mean? You didn't have to buy a gun. Like you can really just use the Wiimote. Yeah. Also, one of my perfect shots was fucked up too. No, the where you attach the nunchuck, it doesn't. The pass through doesn't work, and that is probably just because it's old. Like I've had it forever.
So here's the House of the Dead.
Yeah, this is the House of the Dead 2 and 3. It's basically classic, and I like these because they're real simple. You can turn the crosshair off, like, and that's what I do. That's what I do like about these games too, because like when I do turn the crosshair off, I have to focus on my aim, and like. That's where the challenge is in the arcade. So when they don't give me the option to turn it off, it's aggravating. But obviously this game lets you do it, and that's what I really like about it. But they're real quick. I like 3 better than 2. Most people like 2 the most. I actually have House of the Dead 4 on PlayStation, but I'm not going. It's on PlayStation 3, but I'm not going to play it until, like I said, I go hard. Eventually, I'm gonna get us move controllers.
Like, go hard, get some controllers.
Get us move controllers with the gun, so we can, because that game uses submachine guns. Okay. Yeah. So, but here's the one that you like a lot, Overkill. So this is basically a spin-off series, but it's still mainline because it has G in it.
This shit's so funny.
It's Grindhouse, like it's mature.
Grindhouse, dude.
And that's the thing about the House of the Dead 2 and 3, the vanilla House of the Dead series. The dialogue is just cheesy. It's bad. Doesn't make sense. But here it's cheesy. It makes sense, but it's more Grindhouse.
Yeah.
And it's more modern, but
it's so funny.
I like it because it's like when you shoot something on here with the shotgun, dude, it feels good. Like the weapons kind of function how they would, like a pump action shotgun. When you shoot it, there's a pump and you have to wait for it. So that adds to the tension when the zombie's on your goddamn face. But when you hit them with that headshot, you hear it's like they just explode. But it has a bunch of different weapons you can use. You can turn the fucking crosshair off. Yeah. And that's the thing, like this is an arcade game, so arcade style game. So I like the fact that you can turn that off. So because the thing is you have unlimited ammo. That's the other thing about most of these railgun games. You have unlimited ammo, so
certain gotta make it difficult.
Yeah, you have to make it difficult. Yeah, so and that's the thing because like I've played like Virtual Cop 2 the controller and it has the crosshair on the screen. Like I turned the sense up and I've wrecked that game because like you have a crosshair. It's kind of like having a laser pointer because the game is not balanced for it, and that's the thing. But I really like that House of the Dead has a ton of weapons, has a ton of modes. You can upgrade the weapons too. Did you know that? You can upgrade the weapons. It's a lot of fun. It's a whole bunch of fun, and the dialogue is crazy. Like it's the songs is crazy. Like one dude was like, "He's like you sniveling little shit." He said, "By the way, I'm not your dad. I just kind of fucked your mom." I was like, "Hell, no!" He just said that in this game. It's crazy, man. The game is meant to be like that.
That game is fucking serious.
Yeah, it's meant to be over the top, sexy, shit like that. So, but I really have a lot of fun with it. So, but moving on, the next game on the list that you had saw was the Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. Now, this game, I really like it for a couple of different reasons. First of all, it's kind of arcadey. However, they add a little bit to it because they limit the amount of ammo you get with your secondaries, and I love that. I love the fact that you're limited because it adds tension. It adds tension to it. You have to focus and concentrate. And then one thing I don't like, the quick time events, they're too fast. They don't give you a lot of time to do them. I've gotten used to it, doing it really quick, but man, like it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. But I do like that when we do play two players too. Well, when you play, you can only say if me and him are playing, and there's a shotgun, submachine gun for secondary because you both get pistols. So if he takes one, I can only get the other.
Yeah,
I really like that. And then this is a game that does have the crosshair screen. You can't take it off, and I like that because the game is balanced around it, and there's a mechanic in it.
Yeah.
First of all, you see your ammo in it.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is it allows you to see when you get crits. Because when you put it on the head, you'll see the stain light up, and you get the crit shot. So I like having the crosshair on there because those reasons. And like I said,
then it's also like how you use your knife, where you're gonna swing it. Mm-hmm. That's how you actually pick up the stuff. Because you got to do certain things
contextual things in a menu.
Yeah, in the menu.
Push this button, do that shit. So and they limit the amount of ammo you get for your secondaries, and you have to pick them up in an environment. So you can't just spam your shotgun. You have to you want to save it for bigger groups of enemies, or your grenades,
something hard,
bosses, something large. Yeah. So I really that's one of my. It's my favorite one out of all of them is the next one I'm going to talk about. But Umbrella Chronicles is really high up there just because when I play it, my brain doesn't turn off. Ghost Squad, Target Terror, even House of Dead 2 and 3. And sometimes overkill to an extent, my brain can turn off because you're just shooting. I mean, that's fine. That's what you're there for. Blow off some steam. But if I want to get a little bit more into it, then I'll play games like Resident Evil, Umbrella Chronicles, because there's more story to it. There's slower game. Hey, I might even sit down to play those too because they're just longer games. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they follow what's happening in Resident Evil. So. But really like that one. But the last one on the list that you guys saw is Dead Space Extraction. And Goku hasn't played that yet. No. I've played a ton of it. And have you played it with you, Tiffany? The light gun one? So it's a real game, and it's my favorite one because it is the most involved. It actually feels like playing a Dead Space game, down to not only road because and this is one where you can't delete the crosshair, and for good reason. It is essential to have it because how your guns and stuff work. And Dead Space, they have alternate fire modes for their weapons. So in this game, the way you do it, they have you do it different ways. You might have to rotate the weapon, or you might have to do something else to engage it. But typically, it's depending on the gun too. Rotating it does something different. For the plasma cutter, it's going to change the way it cuts, and then the rivet gun, it may change to crit or something like that when you turn it. So, and then not only that, the game uses heavy use of its stasis, and it's kinetic modules. So you actually have to sit there until you figure out the move shit in the environment. You might have to use your kinetic module to like drag shit, and you do this early in the game too. They look, you're all walking and they're talking and shit. They're having a conversation. It's the most immersive one. They're having a conversation, and they're like, "Hey, move that thing over," and you have to use the nunchuck. Like it's required to have the nunchuck. You have to have both to play.
Wow.
Yeah, and because it uses like all the buttons, and you grab the thing with your kinetic module and pull it over and lock it into place and shit like that. And you use it to grab shit in the background, and you have your stasis where you can slow shit down. And like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, and it's like the most fun, like real gun. And like the thing is it's going to be lost of time because I think the only other console is on is PlayStation 3 because it has move support.
Yeah,
that's probably it though. But these games are like lost of time.
Yeah, no, they are,
and that's why I myself, man, like I don't think I'll ever get rid of my Wii. I keep it as long as I humanly can.
I know that's right.
Just because, like, look, like, and the thing is, like, if you look at the footage in these games, and this is crazy. Like, this video had to be the one that plays over and over and over. Like all my other ones, I had to like manually play.
I know
that made me so mad. I don't know. It's just weird like that. But the thing is, like, if you look at these videos, are the highest res is like 720p. Most of them are 720 and 40. That's because these games are old.
Yes,
and I had to go back and find. Like, it was hard to find data for some of these. Like,
yeah.
it's hard to find video because like they're just 10, 12 years old and they still play, like they still hold up. That's what's crazy. Like they're fun. Like y'all watch me do the cam shots of them.
Here's Dead Space.
This is my favorite one. Like it is by far like the most immersive. Like you're playing a Dead Space game. It's not only a real space shooter, it is a fucking Dead Space game. Look, you see him using stasis and slowing down. Yep. It is so much fun, man.
I'm trying to watch to see like the plasma cutter shift, maybe.
Yeah. But it's definitely in there, trust me. It is so, that's the art gun. Yeah. It's a Dead Space game, man. Like, it's so much fun. But, yeah, these games they're lost to time, man. Like, they're only on this system. So I'm going to hold it as long as I can, man. Like, and I used to go to message boards and argue with people. I don't do that shit before. I ain't got time for it. People used to be like, well, why do you like, because there's always this big digital versus physical. And like I like both. I've come to a conclusion that I like both. I like having a physical copy just for shit like this. You see what I'm saying? Like shit like this, like where the fuck you gonna get it? You know what I mean? And like, because I go back and play old games. Like that was an argument. Nobody goes back and play old games. Fuck yes, I do. I do. It's almost the only thing I do now because like AAA games, man, like they're usually services and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's usually what they are. They're live services I mean they still make pretty good ones. Sony, that's their thing, making single player AAA games. But there's some other cool AAA games coming out. Well, I wouldn't say AAA, but the people make Shadow Warrior. They're making a Western zombie game called Evil West.
Okay.
People make Shadow Warrior.
I have heard about that.
Yeah, it's a third person shooter. It looks awesome. So, but there are some good games coming out. But typically, man, like I just play old games because they're timeless. So, moving on to the current events. We only got one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It is a good one. So, that being said, moving on to my next game. After the current event. So, Jitsu Squad has a console release date. And I just stumbled upon it. I happened to just be like trolling Amazon. I just typed it. I just showed up. I was like, wow, I wonder when NN was going to tell us this is. I'm sure they probably told the boss, but he's been busy. I haven't talked to Dave in a while, but they've been busy trying to get it ready for the console versions. That's what they've been doing, important, and like it apparently is coming next month. So and the reason why I haven't been streaming it a whole lot because I've just been testing it. I've been testing and testing and testing.
We had to do some testing last weekend.
Yeah, we got to do some today too.
We got to do some more today.
We need to get one in. Yeah, so
it's all good.
Yeah, they need to see it with more players.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Because there is an update that's gonna
You gonna hang out, Tiff?
I don't know if
third person.
Yeah, we could definitely use it.
Yep.
Yeah,
if more footage.
If you're not here, then you're not gonna do it because we're not gonna see the difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need 3 or 4 people. But so yeah, it's coming out December 20th. As far as in North America, I know in some other regions, it has different dates, so I'm not sure. You might want to check with the publisher. But I had tweeted it and tweeted the day and then liked it, so I know that's the date for North America for sure. The publisher was like, "Yeah, this is good." So, and It's coming out physical only for PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. And then for Xbox, I believe it'll be digital only. So that's what you guys got to look forward to. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for this because and I've been putting up videos sporadically about it as well because I play the game like all the time. I play this all the time. Like you think I'll be burned out by now, and this is like the combat's real good. That's the thing. Like the combat is just what keeps you going, and some of the stuff that you guys are going to see once the update comes out. Ooh,
I'm watching this, and there's some stuff in there I haven't seen yet.
Really? No, this is all like stuff that's available now. Yeah, all this stuff you can do now. All of it. Look.
All right.
Yeah, because there's
point out a few things.
Because there's something. I'm not going to say it because we're not allowed to, but there's something specific that's happening on the screen that doesn't happen anymore, and I'm not going to say it because we get trouble.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of the new stuff yet. But they do know EX moves are out. We can't say that because that was posted in a magazine.
Yeah.
Brawler's Alley, they covered that. So there'll be EX moves. I'm not going to say which EX moves there are, but there's going to be a tower, a survival mode, and there's some stuff coming out for it. That's all pretty much I'm going to say about it. But the main thing I wanted to focus on is just the game has a goddamn console release date, and that's what most people were waiting on because, like, not everybody PC games, and more people have consoles. And the Switch, man, that's where I think the game will do gangbusters. Because look at it.
Yeah.
It looks like a Switch game. I mean, it's just because the colors are so bright. It's not a knock on the Switch. It's just, typically kids like flashy colors. I mean, I like flashy colors too. And I really loved them as a kid, And like, it's something that, kids can, like my nephew came over here and tried it out and he loved it. So he talked about. So, but yeah, be able to look out for this next month. It's going to be awesome. And, stay tuned for more videos I'm going to have with it.
Birthday gift. I know I have it on PC, but I don't
so if anybody out there watching, Miss Penny, she wants Jitsu Squad for her birthday. You hear it, Dave? You hear that, Peter? You hear that, Kelly? You hear it? She wants a free copy for her birthday for the console. So tell NN to get on that. All right, so that's it for the current events. Like I said, it's not going to be a long show today, but we're about to get into the section that I'm actually like super duper excited to try. And hopefully Murphy's Law.
I might just fucking
get into
this bitch right now.
But yeah, so that being said, hang on, let me go ahead and remove the show video. Let's remove that. All right, Goku Camp Show. All right, so we're going to get in to the main event, which is the Legend of the Double. So we're going to definitely get into that in a minute, but we're going to take probably a 5-minute break just to set everything up, and then we're going to get into breaking this game down because it's an awesome game, and I just discovered it, and I got nothing to say about it. Goku over here doing a fight move. It make you do, man. It make you do fight moves. So everybody stay tuned. We will be right back. What's up? We back. Wasn't quite 5 minutes, but whatever.
It's all good.
That's cool, man. You can break a second. Shake a leg, stretch over. Main event.
Hard crunch.
Main event. Legend of the Double Dragon. So, what we're going to do, as always, I'm going to go into training. I'm going to break down the game, let Goku, work it out. I'm talking about the game and talking about things I discovered and talk about the stuff that, I want to talk about.
So you gonna let me go to here?
Yeah, go ahead. You get in here. And then after we break it down, we're gonna get into the long play, and nobody has to stick around for the long play. That is just a segment where we just, going through romping it up like we do all the time.
Yeah.
But this part will be the main event. So, Legend of Double Dragon. The history on this game. So, Double Dragon actually was the first beat 'em up I've ever played.
Same here.
It was the first. Like, I
definitely
think
first.
A lot of people my age, it was their first, and mine was actually the arcade version too. A lot of people played the Nintendo version, which was a bait and switch. It was one of those games where you got it, and then you went home. It was like, oh, Double Dragon, it's really just like the arcade, and it was nice. However, we dealt with it. But the only thing that I really didn't like about Double Dragon was at home was that you only have 2 buttons. So jumping, you had to use 2 buttons, and that was like with a Nintendo controller, man. It's kind of a pain in the ass. And then Double Dragon was known for like having a ton of platforming too. I don't know why. Like it's a beat 'em up, but it's always had it. But so yeah, Double Dragon was actually the game series that got me into martial arts as well. It was the one that like got me interested in it. Like I used to always want to go around meeting people in the face and stuff, and then the master said you don't do that. And then that's when I learned discipline. But yeah, it was one of those series that got me into that. But what ended up happening with this game, all right, I'm going to talk about this game. So it's called Legend of Double Dragon. It is based off of Super Double Dragon, which is a Super Nintendo game, as you guys know. And the creator of it, his name is Magneto, but he's also known as Mr. Q in the fighting game scene because he likes Street Fighter Third Strike. He liked the character Q. And his name Magneto is actually, and it's not spelled like Magneto, it's spelled MAHCNETO, and it's like a play on his name. Like his name is like, I think it's like Emmanuel Alejandro. Like it's a long, like it's like my wife's name. Like it was a confirmation name, and you know it's long. But that's what it's a play on. But he grew up playing, you know, fighting games. He loved fighting games, and then he played Double Dragon. I believe it was Double Dragon 2. The game I think it was one. But he played it at his cousin's house, and he just grew love for beat 'em ups and fighting games. So that's where he got his introduction to. And he's a big fan of the Dreamcast. You know, he loved all his versus games, and you can see the inspiration in it too. He really liked it. So, believe it or not, what people don't know, Super Double Dragon is an incomplete game. Like they did not get to finish it. It got rushed out. There's enemies that are missing. There's cutscenes. The ending's missing. The Japanese version is a little bit more complete, but it's still an incomplete game. So with this guy, he loves beat 'em ups, and we're gonna talk about what we was getting ready to get into. Before we had started the show, he's not a big fan of the 1, 2, 3, 4s either. Like he had talked about,
I'm tired of him.
He was on. I listened to an interview with him on this talk show. It's called the Casanova Podcast, and the guy who does the podcast, he's actually the voice actor for Ryu in the English version of Street Fighter 5, I believe. So he interviewed Mr. Q and talked about like the origins of the game and stuff like that. Yeah. He said that, you know, Final Fight, good game, you know, but it's simple. Like it's real simple. Like, and like when the game is real simple, like you get bored. He said you can only enjoy Final Fight for a week or two, so maybe 1 or 2 days. I mean, you've done it. Like, but the thing is with Final Fight, that first combo, you've done just about you've done 75% of the game. Yeah. That's what we didn't realize. But back then, that's all there was. Like the only thing that really could compete with it was like really Double Dragon, you know, Streets of Rage. But Double Dragon has always, even from the beginning, always had mechanics. It's always been deep, even the first one. Because what I like about Double Dragon is, first of all, you can't just walk up and grab enemies. You can't. You have to stun them. Yeah, because who the hell is gonna let you walk up and grab them like that? Like, you're gonna be like, man, get the fuck up off me.
Fuck up off me, brother.
Well, here you gotta, you know, they'll do that. Like, you know, they'll steal on you. So you have to stun them to grab them. That's one mechanic I really liked about Double Dragon. That's been in like all of them. Like from the first one, you hit them a couple times, they've been down like that, and you grab them and knee them. So that's what I really liked about Double Dragon. And then like my favorite home versions of Double Dragon was actually the Genesis version of the first one, and then Double Dragon 2. Like Double Dragon 2 is the one we played the most because it was the one that had accessible for NES. Because there was a Double Dragon 2 for Genesis, it was like arcade though, but I ain't played on a whole lot, so I don't know a bunch about it. But Double Dragon 2, NES, that's the one we mentioned. I played a lot. We played that at nausea. Played it, and then like the Genesis came out, and then they ported it over to Genesis, and I was excited because Genesis version, 3 buttons. You can jump, punch, and kick. And that's all I ever wanted it. So basically, Double Dragon always had a bunch of mechanics: elbows, head butts, and that was the move. The elbows, the move you beat the first game with. You use that. You didn't need anything else. But you can knee, roll, you do all kinds of stuff. So, And they've always had mechanics. So Mr. Q, what he did, he said he wanted to take Double Dragon and just, like, because he liked it and he wanted to expand on it and make it the Double Dragon game that, that he always wanted. That's he started doing this because he just wanted to make the game that he wanted to play. He's like, he really liked Double Dragon. He liked Super Double Dragon, but he knew it was incomplete. He wanted to complete it. And that's what he did, like, for the most part. And I thank this guy. Like, if you can, I'm gonna put links to all his stuff in my video on demand and stuff, so you can go check him out, so you can go download the game. But like, if you want to donate to him, you don't have to get the game. But if you, I'm gonna probably gonna donate to the guy because he did a lot of work, man. And he's been working on this. He worked on the game for 10 years. 10 years, and that's what he said. He was like, I wanted a game that has a lot of mechanics, so you don't get bored, so you engage with it. And that's the thing. Like, I noticed that getting older, and like, I've always been this way too. I don't mind a game being difficult, and like, difficulty doesn't mean it has to be Ninja Gaiden difficult, or Dark Souls, or Mega Man, or Silver Surfer. It doesn't have to be that difficult. There's different types of difficult, but this game is difficult in the fact that the AI is aggressive, and you have a lot of mechanics to deal with them, and you have to use them.
Yeah.
Versus like the difficulty in Final Fight LNS, that comes from just understanding the combat and not understanding how to do this one thing, to keep the enemy in the air as long as you can, so you negate damage. That's basically because Final Fight LNS, like, basically they want you to go and credit clear that game.
Yep.
And like, I respect Nestor, the guy who worked on creative Final Fight LNS. I respect his decision to make the game he wanted to make. That's what he basically wanted to do. He wanted to make the game he wanted to make. He wanted to make it for hardcore people, and it required the one credit clear. Now I'm happy that modders went in and tore it open because I could play with my wife now. But because that's the only reason. Otherwise, like, if she didn't play games with me, or I wouldn't care that it's one credit because it's just me and I can handle that. I know if I can one credit version 3 now because I played it so much. And that's all it really takes, just engaging with it enough. But that's where the difficulty is in that game. It's just trying to stay alive with one. This game is like the AI and the mechanics, man. Like, and it gives you something to do. Where in LNS, like, I'm typically doing that one thing, and it has a lot of characters, and that's the thing that I kind of don't like about LNS. I feel like there's too many characters because it's not focused enough. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't able to focus in and refine the combat as much as they could because they had to split difference. It was like, well, we got to go big. We have to, and then most of the characters I don't use this is because some of them look out of place, or some of them might not feel the way I want. But I do like that there is that many characters because like it gives it as the choice. So it's just two different philosophies. Like, this guy, he, couple characters. I think there's a couple two characters in here, and he's working on a sequel, Ultimate Double Dragon. But the characters have like tons of moves. They have like 40, 50 moves. And like, what's also cool about, like I said, he wanted to finish this game. He actually, and this is why I tell people, like, this is why I want to bring attention to this game in particular, because this guy, he put 10 years into this, and not only that, he put money into it too. He actually paid the original artist, designer for the original Double Dragon 1 and 2 arcade, saw this and liked it, checked it out, and he even pitched it to Arc Systems, the people who make Guilty Gear. They hold the IP for Double Dragon right now, and he liked it so much that he pitched it to them. And like, they turned it down because they want to do their own thing. But I'm like, no, man. Like, not only that, he Magneto, Mr. Q, he paid that guy to make custom animations for him. So that's why we got all these different animations and stuff. Like, he paid the guy his own money. And that's why I'm like, man, people, like, he loved this project so much. He spent money to make it better. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's insane. And with Arc System wants to make their own their own Double Dragon. It's like, no, man, no. Like, this guy's already done it for you. Hire him, then it is yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is. It's their assets for the most part. I mean, some of them are new because, the guy had to draw them. They got to pay him for that, but it'll be way cheaper. He's did the work already. Like, he's done it. Like, the guy on the other podcast, he talked about that too. The Casanova podcast, he said, man, we want to get this like on a console or something because it's the Double Dragon game that, like, Super Double Dragon kind of, kind of really supposed to be because it was incomplete. Oh, but yeah, that's what I really like about this game, man. The mechanics is crazy. Like first thing about it, like I said, the combat is deep and rewarding. When I say deep, Goku, tell him it is deep.
It's
like
so much shit.
Each character has 3 stances. Like, show them.
Okay, so there's Super Double Dragon. There's Double Dragon 2. And then there's 3. Double Dragon 1 and 3.
I call it 13. But yeah, and they all combine, like 1 and 3 combine things from Double Dragon 1 and 3 because those are the most similar. And then 2 has like stuff from 2. And then Super is like Super Double Dragon. Like, for instance, go to 2 and then jump and press the special button, like at the top of your jump. Yeah, jump, press special. See, you'll do the hurricane kick from Double Dragon 2. You see, and it makes the noise too. Like, now,
but then
go to Super.
Doesn't do it.
Super is different, done a different way. It's down up kick. Down up kick.
Oh.
So yeah, it's done different. And that's what you have to use to clear gaps in this game too. The certain gaps that are really long, you have to do a hurricane kick to clear it. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They give you, and you even go to Double Dragon and then push forward, punch, kick at the same time, like forward and punch and kick at the same time. Yeah, you will do a grab. Like, he doesn't have enough juice to do it. Go back to 3. I mean 1, 3. See, yeah, he does different. Yeah, because like I have one like that too. See, like, let me show you. Watch. See? That's a Double Dragon 3 throw from the Nintendo game. The guillotine throws, I call it. I call it the Ninja Gaiden throw. I remember when I first saw that in Double Dragon 3. I was like, so it's the Ninja Gaiden throw. Then that game was just, I didn't like it. It was too that was a 1 credit clear game for the most part. Like, you had 1 life. And you got unlocked, like, when you go through the game, you got other characters, Chin and the ninja, I forget the other guy's name. But I mean, they're dead and that's it. So, but this game, you have 3 styles, and each style has about, man, how many moves? About 12 or so moves per style. Like, it's crazy. And then there's like ultras and supers, and then like each time you do a style changes, it fills your meter. So you always have access to your meter, and it encourages switching. It's like if I go in, like for instance, I do this, like I go in to like this, like, and then if I switch, it builds it back up. You see it? See that I can go in here. So then you switch. Yeah, that's why they encourage it. And then certain moves, you know, will take. Oops. See, certain moves will take more. Finish it. It's hard to do that because he's like on the screen. Run back out. So I'm gonna get back over here. He moved. Exactly. He didn't want to get hit by that wind kick. You see it? Let's see. And these are unnecessary too. He tells you they're unnecessary.
They do a lot of damage though.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, it's done. No, let's try this one. So yeah, there's specials, ultras, there's supers, there's all kinds of crazy shit in this game. Let me see. This game's crazy. This game is crazy. And they can do this too. Knock him out of the frame. Get me back in the frame. Like, different stances also like has different combos too, like basic combos as well. Alright, what you want me to do? Let me try his. Cause I forget what it was. One of his anyway. In the other corner. Alright. It was. Let me see. Okay, I got it now. Because I only did it in a couple of days. There we go. And then there's team up attacks too, but we haven't. There, you should see the command list for this game.
We haven't learned none of them.
Yeah, the command list for this game is like super big. Like there's just so much stuff you can do in it. So that's what I'm saying. The first thing is that the combat is deep. I love that. Like you can't just grab enemies; you got to stun them, and then you can do all kinds of crazy stuff to them. The game, the combat is like what makes this game really good. Style changing is one of the things that makes it really unique because you have 3 styles, and then like the way style changing works is on your triggers. And let me tell you another thing about this. I'll get to that in a minute. There's another weird thing about this game, but the game is designed for Super Nintendo controller. It feels like, but yeah, the style change on the triggers, and then like when you hit style change 1, it's always Double Dragon 2 and 13, and then when you go to R, it's always Double Dragon, Super Double Dragon 2. You see it? So that's how the style switching works. So abundance of moves. There's so many moves in this game, like so many. Then the sprite work is really good. Like I said, these are a lot of them were custom made. Even there's enemies that like the Bobo and Linda. You remember Linda with the whip?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't originally in Super Double Dragon. They're in here like community created custom sprites for them. She thick too, dude. She got hips, tits. I'm telling you, she's like super thick, boy. Like you can tell a man drew her. Like he was like, I want to look at some curves. Mm-hmm. And then he did, man. What did you see her, boy? I was like, whoa. Like I was like, she curvy. She was curvy in the verse game. Remember, she had that hair, that 80s hair. And she came out with that little low cut right there, the little cleavage, and she had that purple suit on with those boots, and she had that whip. Yeah, and then like I know like the American version, there was one version where you couldn't grab her because of the position that you had her in. She was bent over in front of you, so it looked like she was getting inflated. So it was a censoring thing, yeah. So, but the other games they allow you to do it, but. Funniest hair grab animation is in Battletoads of Double Dragon, where you grab a Linda. If you're a Double Dragon, you grab her by the back of her hair, you pick her up, you punch her stomach. It's like, Jesus.
Damn.
I know it's crazy. So, yeah, so Bobo and Linda was added. Like, like I said, they paid their original, like, one of the original artists that worked on Double Dragon 1 and 2 arcade to do custom sprites for this. Like, and they said they do all this and risk getting DMCA'd, man. You see what I'm saying? Like Art can be like, hey, don't work on this, but Art needs to hire this dude. They do. And then they has the 80s soundtrack, and that's another thing I was talking about. Watch Big Trouble in Little China. Mm-hmm. Mr. Q loved Big Trouble in Little China. He loves 80s movies, so he put all that music in. Even that little tutorial video, it had the Big Trouble in Little China.
I know, I seen that.
It was crazy. So yeah, it has really good music. Sound effects are crazy. And like even like Bruce Lee's family can like step in and tell him to cut it out. Did you know that? Because he's using his screeches.
Yep.
And like, yeah, his family, like they're serious about that. Like Street Fighter, they may not ever be able to use Bruce Lee
Fei Long,
yeah, because of his likeness, because there's some type of fallout between Capcom and the Lee family. So like, I'm sure if Capcom wants it bad enough, they can, money talks. But maybe it's not the money they willing to pay for it. But like somebody had made a comment that we could potentially, due to that, somebody worked at Capcom made a comment about it. So and then like other great thing about this game is it has a training mode. Man, any game that has every game, like even shooters, man, they should have training modes so you can try the guns out. Like most games, since games don't come with instruction manuals now.
They don't.
Yeah, so they should have training modes, man. Show you how to test this shit out. But yeah, it has a training mode, and it's bare bones, but like you can get in here and work it out because the game doesn't show you anything. It doesn't. So, but it does have a training mode. It has hidden character. I know it has a hidden character for sure. Jeff, he's the green Double Dragon, or the guy that's green that looks like him. So I know he's in Ultimate Double Dragon. He's probably in this game too. I believe I saw it.
There's your move.
I saw it. Boy, that's my move. And so
right there.
And the game's free. That's the other thing. Like you can donate to the guy, but you can totally just go download it for free. Like he encourages it. But if you like it, like man, donate to him because he's still He's working on this and another. He's working on Ultimate Double Dragon and Fight Forever, another Final Fight game. Like at the same time, and he has like other stuff going on too. So he's doing a lot of work, man. He's doing a lot of work. But the cons about the game is that this game is not accessible. It is not easy. And that's what I like about it, like, because it gives you stuff to do, and your brain, like, it keeps your brain on. Like, trying to learn all this and remember it, it keeps you engaged, so you're less likely to get bored. Yeah. And that's what I really like about it. Like, and like you said, it's not one of those 1, 2, 3, 4s. It's like
definitely not a 1, 2, 3.
It's like, you know, it's like boom, 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 boom. It's like get some of that. It's like come back. It's like come back to this.
Get some more for you.
It's like come to that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Don't give up. I'll beat you up while you're laying down. Hold on. That's what he was doing.
So and it's like.
Like, damn.
That's that Donnie Yen, man. He does that in movies. I like how Donnie Yen talks. Have you ever listened to him talk too? Have you ever listened to him talk, John? Like his English is so good. Like it's like I love how he speaks English. Like for a guy who probably speaks, you know, Cantonese or Mandarin or something like that. Like his English is awesome. Like for real, like it'd be hard to tell like that he didn't speak it, you know, unless you really like pay attention. Kind of like how my wife speaks English. Like you wouldn't tell that she spoke Spanish because she doesn't have like the accent. Like he has one still, but like my wife doesn't have one at all. But the way she speaks English is sometimes like Spanish, and it doesn't make sense because she uses Spanish rules. It's like, what did you say? But yeah, like I think they're trying to get Donnie Yen to do. There was something I saw like yesterday. Like Donnie Yen was supposed to be working on a movie where he's. What the hell is he? Was it Fist of the North Star? Was it? And I know not Double Dragon, but a Street Raid movie is like the guy who produced John Wick or directed or something like that. He's involved in that. But I forget what Donnie Yen. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything new on him. Yeah, it was there was a it's not even in here, but I remember what they were talking about just by seeing it. There was a rumor about a Sleeping Dogs movie. Do you know what Sleeping Dogs is? Okay, so Sleeping Dogs was ended up happening is, you remember True Crime series? You remember that because I went to your house and played it. So there was True Crime Streets of LA, True Crime New York, and then what ended up happening, they were developing True Crime Hong Kong. Well, Activision sold it because they closed the company that was making it, and they sold it to Eidos, and they finished it and turned it into Sleeping Dogs. So it's like you're a cop that goes undercover, like doing the dirty work, and like it's crazy. Like it is a good game. Like it's just a Hong Kong action movie, and like if they do that with Donnie Yen, man, so yeah, and then this game has a bad controller bug. I got to talk about that. This is what we talked. This is what I was talking about earlier.
It was like major breakdown.
So it was about 2 weeks ago I discovered it, and then I was playing it, hooked up the Xbox controller, everything worked fine. I'm pumped. Goku, get over here. We plug in another controller. The fucking game goes.
Yeah, you showed the game to me. I was like, "Ooh, this is cool."
Yeah.
Wait, you're doing what? Wait a minute. Did you just wait? What? Dude, I want to play. And so we're all excited, like, all right, let's get this hooked up. And it started bugging out. Yeah. And then you tried it on another PC.
I tried different controllers. Like I tried everything, and we just could not. Like what happened is, it will make one controller control 2 players. Like and it just we couldn't get 2 controllers to behave. So I even like tried different programmers like Xpadder and Pinnacle to try to emulate keyboard strokes and turn off Game Pass, which still didn't work. And then somebody told me, "Hey, try Xpadder because that's another program that I've used it before." So I went in and tried to use that. I couldn't get that to work right. Like I tried everything. Like, and we were bummed that day.
We were
Saturday. We played games.
We were super salty. Yeah.
And then we ended up playing Final Fight, and then the credits thing didn't work.
Yep.
Like everything just went wrong that day. Then my guns didn't work.
Yep.
It was just bad. Like it was just bad. But
we were having a Murphy day
the whole day. But the game not working, that was like the worst part. So when he left 2 days later, like I went up, I ended up reading, some guy was like, I posted in a YouTube video that, "Hey, I like this game, but I'm having issues with controllers," and somebody was like recommended Joy Key. So he sent me a message to my Twitter inbox with all these instructions on how to do it. So I started setting it up, And then I stopped. I was like, let me try something real quick. I said, I probably should have tried this before because I thought about it for a hot second when we were having the issues, but I didn't want to try another set of controllers and be disappointed. So I was like, I pulled out my 8-bit Do SN30 and I plugged them both in and the fucking game just worked. And I was like, hell no, a Super Nintendo controller for a Super Nintendo game.
For an old school Nintendo game.
Just worked. It just worked, didn't it?
No problems.
We can configure them all kinds of different ways. When you push start first, it can disconnect and reconnect. It'll work.
It'll work. It works better than with the Xbox controllers that are synced to your fucking PC.
Oh yeah, it works way better. Yeah,
it don't make no sense.
So so if you guys get into this game, you're trying if you have one player, any controller will work.
Yeah,
no problem.
But if you want to play with your people, you
I recommend.
Should,
and this is what I think it is. It's probably some bug with a specific version of the open bore engine because that's what this engine is built on. Like open bore is kind of like a Mugen engine for beat 'em ups. It's an engine that you can make beat 'em ups for. So I think there's a bug with controllers because specifically what's called X input controllers, and that is the API that Microsoft uses, for controller detection. And that has like thumbsticks, and it's like when the game detects thumbsticks, it goes crazy. Like when it detects more than 2 or something like that, it goes nuts, and like the game just didn't work. So I think using direct input controller, that's what this is. It doesn't have any analog sticks on it, and I have a mode to set it in direct input. I think that'll work because I have another 8-bit Do controller that's like Sega Saturn style, and I believe that will work. But this is designed for it because it's like even like so. I'm gonna do something real quick. Look, I'm gonna show you something. So even when you go to how to play, like even how I had suggested the buttons. I told you I said we're gonna play it this way. I hadn't even looked at this yet, and then when I looked at it, it's the way I set up the controller. Yeah, like I didn't know that. I just naturally set it up there because I looked at it and I said, okay, what if I put punch here? And I said, I'll be able to hit all buttons if I'll be able to do this. Then I went in and played it, and then like 2 days later, I went into here and I laughed. I was like, I set my buttons up like this because it's just the most natural way to play it. So, but yeah, it was hilarious as hell. So, my bad. We go back to the train real quick because we almost done anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so like the game has like bad controller support, but I still wouldn't let that put you off because there's ways around it. And these controllers are cheap too. They're like, well, I mean, now these specific ones might be a little bit more expensive, but when they came out, they're only like $25. They were not expensive. But yeah, the SN30s, these are the 8-bit Do Super Nintendo ones without the thumbsticks. Because nowadays they come with thumbstick. I don't know if those will work. So, and then this game doesn't have a command list. That's another con. And like the developer did that on purpose. He said he just wanted people to figure stuff out. Yeah. Which is, I disagree with it because that's just, it's not a good respect of your time. That's my thing. It's like basically, it's not adding anything to the experience. It's just taking more time to figure it out. You see what I'm saying? When as a child, that's fine. As an adult, it's like, I don't have time for that. That's why I went and found a video to figure out all this shit because I saw it. I played it, and like even there was a game, and I'll get to that. What was the game called? It wasn't Legend of the
I remember that one where he ends with that Bruce Lee kick. I forget how to do that one now.
That's what I'm saying. This game has a lot of moves to it.
Fucking shit.
There was this Double Dragon game that came out before this that got me to notice this, but yeah. So like the game doesn't have command lists, and that's fine because like there's people that, like I said, there's one dude that made a whole video for it, and that got me to really understand how the game works. So, but yeah, there's a basic command list in the game's files. Like it's very basic though. I saw that. And then the other thing I find a con about the game is the weapons. The weapons aren't great, not because the weapons themselves are not great. It's because like you don't want to use them. You know what I mean? Like all these different styles and stuff is like I always put the weapons down.
I use them a little bit.
They're good too because
they're good crowd control.
Well, what's good about them as well is like you work them and they have their own unique combos.
Each of them, that was cool.
To me, they're overshadowed just by being able to fucking do all this.
All the other shit that you can do.
I look like
Yeah.
And fuck that. I don't need this stick, man. I can do all this shit. So I don't need this stick. Bruce Lee didn't need one shit. He cracked it.
But he had nunchucks.
Yeah, but he threw him down. Remember after he got through his weapon, he wanted a hand-to-hand fight.
Yep.
He threw him away after he's done. Remember the lightsabers?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this. There's a Bruce. Have you seen that? The Bruce Lee nunchuck with the lightsabers on the end. That's so dope. I showed him that like for the first time. Like
it's like what?
Yeah, I was surprised. He's a big Bruce Lee fan. He's never seen it. So yeah, that's a con. And then it's PC only. That's another thing. And for real, like Arc system works. You guys need to hire this guy, man. Like, I understand you want to make your own, but he's already did the work. Like he's made a worthy game that you guys can slap your name on it. Like, hire him, then he's part of you, then problem solved. You know what I mean? Like, the companies do that shit all the time. They're like, hey, we like that idea, let's buy it. So yeah, they should, man. Like, it's such a, like, I don't understand it. Like, it's such a waste. Like, this is just sitting there. Like, the work's done. Like, it'll print money.
Yep.
It would. Oh man, it'll print money, man. It'll. Oh shit, I don't get it. I don't understand. And then the other thing that is these are really nitpicks. It has that is a con because it's in most of the Dragon games platforming. I don't like platforming and beat 'em ups. I don't think it has a place in it, but it's always been a staple in Double Dragon. So I understand why you put it in there. And like this guy's first Nintendo game was Battletoads. So yeah, like he wants hard games. Like I said, I don't mind hard games. Like the older I get, the more like I want games that adds complexity so I can engage, because that is going to trigger, like that's going to, you know, it's going to make those pleasure receptors fire off, those the dopamine receptors, because you're learning something, you're doing something new, you're engaging. And that's that is the one core thing I really like about this game, because it has so much to it. Like, it is the Double Dragon game I wanted to play when I was little. Like, it is. Like, it has a lot of stuff. Like, I love playing that. My favorite thing to do in Double Dragon 2 is this, man. Look, I'll show you. My favorite thing to do is to end it was and then knee him a couple times and kick the shit.
Yep.
Not that one. That's super Double Dragon.
I love the kick.
That's my favorite Super Dragon one. Yeah. But in Double Dragon 2, it was always this for me. Don't go in and kick them up in the air. Then I can do that. That was my favorite thing, to kick them in the air and then hit them with that hurricane kick. So yeah, so overall, man, miscellaneous, like I said, the game works perfect with the 8-bit Do controller. So if you want multiplayer, this is for me the easiest way. Like using Joy the Key, it didn't work. Using X-Patter didn't work. I don't recommend Pinnacle because the creator died, so you might download malware because hackers took over his shit. He had the best like Joy the Key software like on the planet. You remember it, didn't you? But yeah, he died. That's what happened. But it just like he had a website that had profiles that you could just download. Like if you don't want to make your own, just upload one. Like it was kind of like how Steam does it now with their stuff. But it was the best. Like he had like he made a new one called it was after Pinnacle. I forget what it was called. It was a different one. But right after he passed away, he got sick. So super sad. And like I said, the weapons were overshadowed by just hand-to-hand combat, because the hand-to-hand combat is crazy in this game. Like it's nuts. It's nuts. And then like a small minor nitpick, the select cursor is nitpicky. Like if you hit start and like you forget which one is like we ended a game like that accidentally.
we weren't real far.
No, it's like going to stage 3. Yeah. But it's just that's a minor nitpick. But like I said, and this is pretty much where the main event ends. This is where the long play is ready to begin. So I'll go ahead and close it out, because as I mentioned before, after the breakdown of the main event, we do the long play. Nobody is responsible for a long play. You don't have to sit around for it. So with that being said, people, please, and I'll go back over this at the end of my long play as well. So do keep that in mind. But review your games, especially indie games, because it helps them bring in revenue and bring us more updates and new games. On Steam, they need 10 reviews just for Steam to say the game exists. Did you know that? Yeah, a game needs 10 reviews just for Steam to recognize it.
Wow.
So yeah, so please, like if it's a game you like, review it. Throw those guys a review, especially indies, because But they're out there struggling. Like inflation's crazy now too. And then if you like a game that's that you can't buy or whatever, like these fan made games, share it with other people, especially if you want to show them the appreciation. Some people take donations. Like the guy who made Brutal Doom, I donated to him. So and there's a lot of different, like in the Hispanic community, the Latin American community, there's a lot of like mod and homebrew and stuff.
Yeah, because
the guy who made I believe the guy who did Brutal Doom, I believe he is from Brazil, because I remember sending him money and I had to like convert it because it was in whatever the currency was, I can't remember. And then the guy who made this, I believe he's from Chile. Yeah, I believe he's from Chile. Like you know what I'm saying, like you find and Nestor, he's from Spain. He's a Spanish guy. Like you see a lot of love and support for these type of projects, like in the Latin and Spanish communities, man. Like they do a lot of hard work, and you see it everywhere. It's crazy. Even there's a guy from Mugen, Illusionisters. I can't remember, but he's from Brazil. He's from the Brazilian movie team. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of they like my man. I was watching this video. They're comedians. I forget his name, but he said the essays they do in Grande. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with him, man. They know how to do it, man. They do it Grande, boy. They know how to do it. But yeah, so show those guys some love, man. Get out there, share their works. Like that's the whole reason I wanted to highlight this project, and I'm going on about it because the podcast I watched, it was like they talked about this game for an hour 45 minutes. Like you can go on forever about this because there's so much. There's so much
shit to this game.
There's so much to it, man. There's just so much to it. But yeah, show them guys some love. And so again, thanks for hanging out with us. We're glad you guys are able to join us, for the people who tuned in.
Yes, sir.
We hope you had fun. Tune in again next month.
Have a good night.
And we're gonna do, like I said, next month we're gonna do another short stream because it's holidays. That's the reason why we keep this kind of short. Thanksgiving is like next week, and then Christmas is coming up, so we keep them short. And like I said, you guys can stick around for a long play if you want. And I will reiterate this at the end. So again, tune in again next month. More stream will be uploaded to YouTube. Where can they find you, Goku?
The usual. What I got the Twitter.
Yeah, Twitch.tv/Son Goku 81, right? Yeah. Son Goku Black 81.
Son Goku Black 81. And Discord is Son Goku Black 81.
That's pretty much it, ain't it?
That's all YouTube, I got.
Dude. Yeah, you got a YouTube. Son Goku Black 81.
I haven't done nothing to it. Yeah, I don't got nothing on it. Right. But technically, I guess I have a YouTube. Yeah.
Gotcha.Here can they find you, MLP?
So many places. You can also find me on Twitch at MLP Music and Gaming, or Music_Gaming. You can find me at YouTube at MLP Music. Twitter is at Miss Lyrical Penny, and I'm on Instagram too, but I can't think of it right now.
Well, I'll put all the links and stuff in the description, so don't worry. I'll plug your channel and stuff. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. See you again next month. Stay safe. And ML Penny, Goku, Kev, you guys are signing off. Peace out. All right, let's get into this shit, y'all. Come on, you ready to beat some ass?
Yes, sir.
I'll let you finish that. Sorry, I missed that. What's that? Yeah. All right.
What class was that?
I don't know. Let's go ahead.